Thank you for joining us today. I know the weather played a role, which is why you probably see a lot of empty seats. Nonetheless, let's get started. My name is Mark Naggar. I'm the project manager for the Federal-Wide Buyers Club. I helped put this together a little haphazardly with this weather, but we're glad that you're here to join us, and I'm sure you'll see some others trickle in. Initially, we were going to have this event at GSA's headquarters, but the overwhelming demand, we sold out to the 270 seats we had capacity for in less than 48 hours, which prompted us to massively move to this area. We did not do the best job to educate folks about where we're going, but we're still glad that you're here, and we have a lot of information we'd like to share with you today and continue on this journey. I want to give you a little bit of insight into why we had this event. We initially set up the HHS Buyers Club in collaboration with a lot of our counterparts at the White House, GSA, OFPP, and others. There was a need for a federal-wide group to spread across the silos to share information. We initially set up a listserv for the federal folks and a public Google site for non-federal and federal folks. We didn't have a lot of activity there, so we thought we'd have some sort of an event or two. The idea was to have a mini conference, but as you can see, the demand sort of outstripped the supply there, and we decided to make a whole day of it. And this is why we're here today. Let me explain to you sort of what the Federal Buyers Club is. I know you hear a lot about procurement reform or modernizing acquisitions and so forth, a lot of reasons why. We're basically on the cusp of, for lack of a better term, an acquisition revolution per se. Not just in IT services, but everywhere. And in the roles that I've played at HHS so far and being involved with my counterparts across the federal government, we keep finding more and more people throughout the government, a lot of the speakers here today, a lot of the panelists that you'll hear from today, who are doing such amazing things. 6 months ago, I didn't know any of them. A year ago, I didn't know even more of them. But one of the benefits here is that the further you go out of your little comfort zone or the area you work in your agency or your division, you learn more and more. But we don't really have an area or an opportunity or a centralized website per se where we can interact with those people and learn about what they're doing and share those best practices and put them in place in our own departments. So this is sort of the genesis of the Federal-Wide Buyers Club. It's a community of practice. We are just beginning. It'll continue to evolve and iterate as it should. And we want you to play an active role going forward, because you're very much a part of it. See if I can get this to work. There we go. So one of the things that we did this past week is we purchased a 90-day version of IdeaScale. It was not configured properly by today, and we'll go into a little bit more about what we're going to use it for later in the event. But basically, it's going to be a central way in the interim while we develop and work with the folks to develop a better platform to share ideas across the federal government, to share best practices, lessons learned, so forth and so on a lot of the projects that you work on, because everyone thinks that they need their own contract or their own mechanism to do something, but people don't know that in other agencies are doing the exact same thing, maybe 20% different. So we're trying to share. GSA you'll hear from today that has a common acquisition platform called the Acquisition Gateway, among many other fantastic things. That's eventually going to be sort of a one-stop shop for everyone. But in the interim, we'd like to share with you, and we will later today or tomorrow morning, provide you the link and the password to get in there and to communicate with other people at this conference and throughout the federal government, so you can share ideas, talk about barriers, how to break them, and so forth. You'll also notice that we provided a pre-conference survey. We had about a 20% response rate, which I hear is pretty good. I'm going to share with you some of the results. 20% isn't amazing to me, but anyone who's done surveys has told me that's really, really good. We're also going to have a post-conference survey, but we'll get into that later. Also, for those of you who are social media friendly, the hashtag, and we do have a hashtag for this event, it is Fed Buyers Club. Feel free to use it as often as you'd like. I want to give a special thanks to our co-sponsors, the Office of Federal Procurement Policy, GSA and their 18F group, as well as overall the General Services Administration and HHS and the HHS Buyers Club. We also had support from the White House Office of Science and Technology Policy, as well as U.S. Digital Service and many others who, in collaboration, which is what we're doing here today, have helped us to put together some content and speakers and panelists for this event. Some housekeeping. We know the weather is going to be a little iffy toward this afternoon. We're going to try to get you out of here as early as possible. Just a note, there's no need to stay in the room if you feel like you have to get up and walk around, need to use the restroom, feel free to step out as needed. The event is going to be recorded. Probably 90% of the way, except for maybe one or two things, will not be recorded. We're going to then transcribe them and caption them and post them on fai.gov, but you're likely to see those videos and those segments popping up on other federal sites as well, because we realized we could not accommodate the entire federal workforce into this hall. Also, there's food and drink in the building. You've probably seen around, plenty of coffee areas, food courts. You also see some microphones stationed. I thought the room would be a little bit tighter, and so I'd asked for volunteers to be runners of microphones so y'all wouldn't have to get up and move around. Nonetheless, if any of you would like to volunteer or you see someone who needs access to a microphone, feel free to help them. There's going to be a lot of opportunity for Q&A. And also, between the lunch hour and the aftermath, there'll be an opportunity to engage with some of the speakers and some of the organizations that have helped sponsor and put on this event, because we know that you'd like to learn from this experience while you're here. Special thanks to our speakers. So I did not provide an agenda. We decided not to print out 1,000+ pages. But I'm going to tell you, we're going to have some opening remarks from the administrator of the Office of Federal Procurement Policy here shortly, also from Tom Khalil and Brian Civic. We've broken out the segments of the day into events. You'll hear from those speakers shortly on a variety of topics. You'll have the introduction remarks here soon. Theme 1 will be until lunch. Then we'll break for lunch and come back for a amazing moderated panel that I think you'll truly enjoy. And then we'll also have a theme 3, which goes into some additional tools that you really would like to hear from, I'm sure. Closing remarks will be given by GSA Administrator Dan Tangerlini. Immediately following that, we're going to have a full demo of GSA's Acquisition Gateway, which will be right here on this stage. And after that, you can have some post-event networking and conversations. So I mentioned the pre-conference survey results. Want to go and share a little bit with you of that, as I had promised. We asked folks a lot of different questions, and we are reading every single comment that is provided. But I wanted to share with you right now just a few of those questions. What barriers do you see with an acquisition? Keeping in mind that acquisition is not just the procurement piece. It's from the development of the need or the problem all the way to contract closeout. Here you can see the chart that breaks it down based on the survey responses. And here you can see the full text of what we have of those responses. Of course, by far being lack of collaboration, and we'll get into a lot of that later, and you'll hear a lot from the panelists later about how we think that can improve innovative acquisition. Next, what barriers do you see within procurement, not just acquisition? By far, length of time to award, people know about that. We can attribute that to many reasons. nonetheless, we're glad we received your feedback there. Lastly, as I mentioned before, in developing the acquisition gateway as we move and shift to the future, we asked what some of the resources you'd like to see on this. And again, we do ask these questions, and we will ask in the post-conference survey and through IdeaScale in the future. We do want you to participate in that because you are end users, you're stakeholders in this process. One of the reasons why a lot of contracts fail is that feedback isn't received early and often enough and consistently enough. And we want to make a platform that really serves you and helps you to accomplish your mission. And so we thank you for providing this to us.